G'day, I'm Troy Hazard, and over the next few weeks I'll be dropping in to give you some tips that'll hopefully kickstart your new franchise adventure. I've been a consultant for about 20 years in the franchise industry, and I've worked with some of the greatest brands around the world. In addition, I've spoken in some 16 different countries on the topic. I've been a franchisee, and more recently I've invested in a franchisor's business. So I've got plenty of stories to share with you, so that you too might be able to tell your boss you're not coming Monday. Later in the show, I'll be giving you my essential checklist for anybody thinking about buying a franchise. Okay, so you're thinking about buying a franchise. Well, here's some of the things you've got to think about. First, do you see yourself in that job day in, day out for, say, 3 to 5 years? After all, you're not buying a job, you're buying a business. Secondly, do you have a connection with the franchisor? After all, this is a marriage, and like any marriage, divorce is just going to end in tears. All right, well, I've already given you a few things to think about on your new franchise adventure, but I've got a really important question to ask you. Have you talked to your family about this yet? There are literally hundreds of franchise opportunities here in Australia, in a vast array of categories. In fact, franchising represents 14% of the national GDP, and the franchise community employs over 600,000 Australians. As a franchise consultant, I get a dozen calls a week from business owners that want to become franchisors. Some of them have got great businesses, others, they got nothing. For me, the acid test is how they answer 3 very important questions. Do they have a proven business model? Do they have a sustainable business model? Do they have a profitable business model? If they can answer yes to all 3 questions, then we can keep talking. Making the transition from business owner to franchisor is not an easy task, and it comes with a number of costs, both money and time. I get a lot of calls from potential franchisees asking me which franchise is going to make me the most money. My answer usually is, if you're in this just for the money, then it's probably the wrong reason. It took me my first couple of companies to realise that if I was in business just for the bucks, then I was a slave to the bucks and to the bank. When we started buying businesses and making business decisions about passion and interest and excitement, then we started making much better business decisions. And the money came from that. But where do you start when you're looking for your opportunity to not come Monday? Well, the Franchise Council website isn't a bad place. It's got a heap of information about franchising, how franchising works, the Franchising Code of Conduct, and a number of franchise systems that are available here in Australia. They've also got this really cool online bookstore where you can buy books about everything to do with franchising. So jump online, take a look. And from time to time, you'll spot a franchise expo in different cities around the country. There are so many places for you to find opportunity about franchising here in Australia. But don't cut corners, because you need to gather as much information as you possibly can from as many people as you possibly can to make sure you've got all the information you need, so when you tell your boss you're not going Monday, you know where you're going. It's a bit of a misconception in franchising that once you've bought a franchise business, it's the responsibility of the franchisor to market that business. No. It's a team sport, and both of you need to be playing on the same team if you're going to beat the opposition. The franchisor has a responsibility to look after the big picture, the strategy, brand positioning, brand values. And a franchisee has the responsibility for protecting their local area and the tactical implementation of that strategy. Without you two guys working together, then pretty much it's game over. I've started 10 different companies in the last 20 years, and with each and every one of them, it was a slow start. With some of them, we had a stellar finish. Others, we stumbled over the finish line with our last dying breath. With each and every one of them, I had 3 things I focused on. 1, I follow my own intuition. The second point was that I always was very clear about how long it was going to take me to grow those businesses to make them successful. And the third point was to make sure we knew how to get out of them when they were finished. If you can cover those 3 things off, then it's not about the right time, it's about your time.